Adenike, see something. I guess this should actually be my number one, because number one, your boobs are gonna get bigger. Okay, just prepare yourself for that. Luckily, I guess maybe because of my stature or whatever, it's not like mine got incredibly bigger, but you know, they did increase in size, and the little cleavage. I didn't used to have this.
Let me introduce you.
Hey, oh hi, if it's your first time here, my name is Adenike or Olori Esho. On this channel, I create content that relates to love, marriage, and lifestyle. And most recently, I started updating you about my pregnancy journey, which I have tagged my baby diaries. And it's our first baby. If you're seeing this for the first time, this is our first baby, and so I'm super excited. So if you're interested in more of those, please check out the other videos, subscribe to the channel right now, and thumbs up the video, all right? Thank you. I feel like people have just been telling me, you're glowing, you're glowing, you're glowing. And no one has actually said it to me like, this your glow, it's pregnancy glow. They're just like, oh my gosh, you're looking so good and all of that, which is all very good. Makes me feel very warm and fuzzy that, oh, I'm looking good. But anyway, this video is going to be about my second trimester. I have concluded my second trimester. Yay, glory be to God. I'm now at the beginning of my third trimester, and so I wanted to give you an update on how the second trimester went, and to also share with you about 15 things that I experienced, or 15 things that you should expect in your second trimester when you are pregnant. And of course, I'll show you what my baby bump looks like right now in 29 weeks. Yeah, I'm in my 29th week right now, so I'll show you what my baby bump looks like. Okay, let's get started. So I already told you about the first thing, which is that your boobs are gonna get bigger. Hey, Jesus is Lord. Please just let me see. Wait, let's do this. There we go. Go help. Okay, yeah, that's better. Much better. Okay, that's good. Yep, good. Yeah, that's acceptable. Okay, so yes, so that's going to be my number one and when it happened, it seemed as if it happened overnight, and then my bras weren't fitting properly anymore, and I didn't get a lot, Sha. I think let me not lie, I didn't buy new bras because I had some already that were a little bit bigger, you know, than my regular size, and so they just fit perfectly, such as the one I am wearing right now. Number two is your energy is going to be back. If your first trimester was as difficult as mine in terms of throwing up, morning sickness, vomiting, just loss of appetite, you can go check out the video right here. If you are that kind of person, or if you had that kind of first trimester, then in your second trimester, you can expect that your energy is going to be back. You know, you're back to your regular self, except now there is this human growing on the inside of you. You know, you can move around more. You're not so sick as much. Of course, the throwing up has stopped and all of that. Number three, in my second trimester, I started feeling my baby move. Guys, oh my gosh, guys, oh my gosh, it is the most incredible feeling in the world. I remember, I guess at the time I should have started feeling the baby. I still hadn't, and the doctor was like, oh, maybe the baby has moved, but you just don't know. And I was like, okay. And then he said, oh, it will come in forms of fluttering, like a flutter initially, and then you would start to pay more attention to it, and you know, the more you grow, the more the baby grows, the more you start feeling the kicks. And now the way the baby kicks, like it kicks in interesting ways, like you can't help but notice, but it is just the most incredible, amazing feeling. I remember the baby was kicking a few days ago, and I kept giggling, and my sister was like, what's wrong? And I was like, the baby's kicking. And then she said, okay, but it was kicking in such a way that it was tickling me, you know. So it was making me laugh. But yeah, so you're going to experience that as well. Number four, you're going to have a visible baby bump. So if you're trying to hide it, you ain't gonna be able to hide it for long unless you start wearing like baggy clothes or whatever. But yes, your bump is going to keep growing. It's going to get bigger in your second trimester such that you won't be able to hide it. And it's just so beautiful. People start telling you, oh my gosh, congratulations. That's for people that see you anyway, because really, if you look at me from here right now, from here to here, you really can't tell that, you know, I'm carrying a baby. Number 5, one thing I noticed with my second trimester was that my hips got bigger and my panties became very tight, so I needed to get new panties, or it even became very uncomfortable to be wearing underwear and panties and all of that. And so you might need to get new underwear with your second trimester, because your hips, I guess the way they explained it was like, oh, you know, your whatever is growing and it's expanding, and so that's why your hips are getting bigger, and so your underwear might get too tight and uncomfortable, so you might need to make some new purchases. Number 6, you're going to be eating as if, what is the problem? Well, maybe not really, but you're definitely going to have an increase in your appetites compared to your first trimester. So in my first trimester, like I said in my first trimester video, loss of appetite. I was barely eating. I lost weight, okay? But my second trimester, I started eating. Like, if I didn't eat at a certain point, I would be grumpy, I'll be tired, I'll just not get myself. I remember I rushed out of the house one day thinking, oh, you know, I'll eat when I get back because this is supposed to take barely 5 minutes. But then, you know, Nigeria, things started taking 2 hours. So by the time I was going back home, I was shaking. That was how hungry I was. I was shaking. I needed to just put something in my body. So definitely you're going to have an increase in your appetite. Number 7 is that you're going to be drinking a lot of water. In as much as you're eating, you just suddenly realize you can't have enough water. Middle of the night, early morning, afternoon, after every meal. Like the amount of water you're consuming, which they say is good on a regular for pregnant women, but you just realize that it's not a chore, right? It's very easy because your body just keeps demanding more water. And then right along that line is the fact that you're going to be peeing a whole lot. Like I can't describe it to you. And sometimes it's not funny because you're waking up 4 or 5 times middle of the night just to pee. And if you're like me, if you don't quickly get back into bed and close your eyes, or maybe someone turns on the light or whatever, you can't fall back to sleep immediately. So it can be quite frustrating. And then add to that, the baby starts kicking. Yeah, so you're like, please, can I just sleep? Like, it got to a point I realized that after drinking a bottle of water, I would pee twice in 5 minutes. Yes, I'm not lying. I'm not exaggerating. I'd have to. So whenever I'd pee the first time, I'll just sit down somewhere and not relax too much because I know there is some still getting ready to come out. And 5 minutes later, I'm back in the restroom just to pee. Number 8 is minor cramps around your pelvic area. Well, I don't know if it's common to every pregnancy, but I did experience it such that, you know, that feeling where it seems as if your period wants to come, but it's not, you know, your period isn't coming. Just like minor cramps around your pelvic area. Apparently it's your uterus that is, oh, I need to pee right now. Let me see if I can finish this video. They say your uterus is pressing down because your baby is growing or something of that nature. So it becomes such that sometimes you're going to feel certain cramps below in your lower abdomen / around your pelvic area, and it can be a bit uncomfortable. The doctor prescribed paracetamol, but I was like, nope, I ain't taking anything that isn't iron or folic acid. And I haven't, to the glory of God, since my pregnancy, I haven't taken any medication other than the iron and folic acid, except for the antibiotic that they injected in me in my first trimester when I was sick. Check it out in that video. Number 9 is anxiety. I feel like in my second trimester, I felt anxious a lot. You know, I felt this anxiety a lot in terms of, oh, you know, if my baby doesn't kick in a day or as soon as I expect it to, or as often as I expect it to, I start to get worried. I start to panic internally. I start to say, oh, you know, I start tapping my stomach like, wake up, you know, give me something, give me something. and then you start to overthink things and maybe, you know, get yourself worked up over unnecessary things. And I just always try to remind myself, you know, what the Bible says, that I should be anxious for nothing, but in all things I should make my prayers and supplications known to God through thanksgiving. I know I'm missing up the Bible verse, but you get what I'm saying. So I would always remind myself that and tell myself I'll be anxious for nothing. God is in control. God's got me, and just keep encouraging myself through it. So that way I don't get bogged down or overwhelmed. Number 11 is that I found books to read and videos to watch. Now you have to be very careful and not get carried away with this, but my pastor's wife recommended a book for me that I read. She recommended another one, but I couldn't find it. But then luckily, a few YouTubers also had a baby recently. And so I was watching their videos as to their journey and all. But whatever you read, whatever you watch, just don't overwhelm yourself. Okay, don't overload yourself with information. Just take everything with a pinch of salt, except of course the word of God. Number 12 would be maternity clothes and or large t-shirts. So I didn't buy maternity clothes. I think I might have mentioned that in one of my other videos, because I didn't really add so much weight. The only weight I added really was in my stomach. My regular clothes still fitted me just fine, conveniently, except that once it gets around my stomach, it's much tighter because of course my stomach has grown. And so you might need to look at getting maternity clothes. Instead, I just was wearing my husband's t-shirts. I probably acquired all his t-shirts, and even when I got to the US, I started wearing my father's t-shirts and my sister's t-shirts and anybody's t-shirts I could find, because really you're at that point where your stomach is growing, and initially it was a bit uncomfortable for me, and so I just really wanted things that were free. I wasn't wearing tight clothing or all of that, except I absolutely needed to, which was very rare. But yeah, I was wearing a lot of big t-shirts, even to go out sometimes around the house and stuff. Number 12, you're looking at with second trimester, I feel came emotion overload and mood swings, and you know, like little thing will happen, a little thing that maybe on a regular day would not even offend you, but it will happen, and next thing is I'm bursting into tears. I'm just crying and I'm just so frustrated and I'm tired. I remember there was a night I locked myself in the restroom and I was just crying. I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? Why is this like this? Why is that like that? And I was just crying. And in my head, I knew I was being over dramatic, but I just couldn't help it. I just needed to cry. And so you're going to have moments where you're just feeling overwhelmed, and it's okay, because it comes, I guess it comes with pregnancy, because I cried like, and I had to tell my husband a few times like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't want it to seem like I'm complaining, but God bless him, I love him so much, God bless him, he was always like, no, I have nothing to be sorry about, I have nothing to apologize for, just as it's doing you, just be telling me. If you need to let it go, try not to cry, because he hated when I cried, because it felt like I was stressing myself and then I was stressing the baby. But there were just times I just really couldn't help it, and then 1 minute I'm okay and then the next thing I'm just in tears and I'm just so tired, because it's pregnancy, it is work, you know. So sometimes I'm just feeling overwhelmed, like my stomach aches and my back aches and I'm tired and I can't sleep, and then you start crying. You know, I mean, it's my first pregnancy, so I guess I'm allowed. But yeah, so that's something to expect, I guess, you know, and it's okay. Just allow yourself feel, but, you know, make use of your support system so you don't feel like you are alone. Number 14 is that in my second trimester, I heard my own heartbeat, like I was hearing it in my ears for some days, and it was the most awkward thing. Like, it's not that I can feel it, it's that I can hear my heart beating in my ear. It's crazy. I had to Google it, and then I realized so it was something that happened to women, pregnant women, at some point where you're just hearing your own heart beating. I mean, it wasn't a horrible feeling, you know, but it was uncomfortable because I was like, why am I hearing my heart beat without aid? But that happened, and so I don't know if that happened to, I don't know if that's common to pregnant women or whatever, but it was one of the weird and strange occurrences in my second trimester. Number 15 is that you start thinking of names for your baby. Yep, yourself and your husband, yourself and your partner, you're going to start thinking of names, and feel free to Google names, research names, check the meaning of names. We started talking about it and praying about it. I'll be in church and a name will pop in my head and I'll write it down, and then we'll talk about it later, you know. So just feel free. We didn't share with anyone, of course. It was just between both of us, and then would pray on the names and all of that. So yeah, that's something fun to look forward to as well. So last but definitely not the least is that in your second trimester, you want to try as much as possible to remain active, to keep moving, as long as, I mean, of course, there are no complications and you are not on bed rest or anything, your pregnancy is going smoothly, then just try every now and again. I'll take a stroll down our neighborhood and just walk around, just ensure that I'm moving and I'm active and blood is flowing, because I heard it helps with, you know, blood flows in your body, in your legs, and it just keeps your energy up, really. So that's definitely something that you can also try to incorporate, or exercise if exercise is your thing. Okay, so those are the, I guess, 16 things about my second trimester. It was a beautiful journey. It was a beautiful period. It wasn't as stressful as the first trimester, but you know, it was still work regardless. And towards the end of the second trimester as well, you start preparing for the baby, because you start doing more appointments, because you start doing more medical appointments and all of that, you know. It's just a whole lot of work. But let me show you. Okay, how do we do it? Okay, we're going to go to bathroom, and then I'm going to show you what my baby bump looks like right now. Okay, so I have to come to the bathroom because this is the best way. I'm a bit tired, yes, from shooting this video and all of that. Plus, I just feel like this is the best way to show you guys my baby bump. So here, how do we do it? Okay, let me set it over here. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. And this is my baby bump at 29th week. This is my 29th week right now. So if I'm standing forward, and I'm not like deliberately doing like this, but that is how it's like. The bigger your bump gets, the more you start to lean more on your back so that you can carry the baby. Fire! Look at that. Oh, God is so great. God is so good. God is good. My sister got this dress for me. Yeah, and I love it. This is my first time wearing it, by the way. She got it for me and I love it. I feel so pretty today. Well, yeah, this is the baby. Like I said, it is 29 weeks. I'm in my 29th week currently at the time of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please share your tips, your thoughts, your comments down below in the comment section. If you're an expectant mom, if you're single and you're just enjoying the video, or you know, if you're a mom yourself, can you relate to these things? What did you experience in your second trimester? Whatever your thoughts are, please leave them down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. And yes, I'm thanking you for subscribing, because I'm hoping that you're subscribing right now as I'm talking. And I hope you check out my other videos as well. Like I said, this is my baby diaries, but even aside from that, I have my relationship and marriage and lifestyle videos as well for you to check out. And what else? I think that is it. I will see you again very, very soon. You know how we do it. I pray God blesses you, your home, your marriages, and your relationships as well. Remain in God, and God bless you. Mwah. Bye.